Hey guys, have you ever had those moments when your brain just can't push anything out and you just wish that there's some way to basically amp up and boost the creativity out of your mind? Well, if you have, then I'm here to help. Today, I'm going to talk about how to boost your creativity, specifically in studying with 5 tips. Tip number 1, get enough sleep. Now, I'm not telling you this from a scientific standpoint, but this is almost purely from my experience among with others. Whenever I have a task to do, whether if it's writing a script or revise for an exam, I always try to get an early sleep so that I can make the most out of it. I remember back around 2 years ago, I almost always slept late and didn't really care about my mental health. It turned out that I suffered from mild sleep deprivation, and surprising enough, I didn't even know that I suffered from it. But what I did know was that I was always tired, can't concentrate, can't get anything done, and my creativity just dropped. Getting enough sleep doesn't just make you feel good. It also gives your brain a lot of energy to think and be creative and to push out ideas, thoughts, or anything you want to push out. That sounds messed up. It makes you feel energetic, proactive, which kind of helps you to tackle almost anything in the day. Therefore, having enough sleep is crucial to being creative. Tip number 2, start out early. Remember when I just told you that whenever I have something important to do or have to revise for an exam, I always try to get an early sleep? Well, it's not just about having enough sleep. It's also about waking up early so I can do what I need to do in the morning. Doing your work in the morning can drastically change the way you work and can significantly boost your creativity levels. Why and how, you ask? Well, based on my experience with studying, there's something in all of us called procrastination. If you don't start out in the morning, chances are you're gonna tell and convince yourself to do the work later in the afternoon. But then you convince yourself to do the work in the evening, but then you convince yourself to do the work the next day, but then you convince yourself to do the work in the afternoon of the next day, but then you convince yourself to do the work in the evening of the next day, but then you know where this is heading, right? That means forcing yourself to do your work or do something that requires creativity in the morning can tremendously prolong the period of time that you can keep focus and go with the flow, which means there's way more time for your brain to be productive and creative, and therefore making you be more creative. Tip number 3, get your favorite beverage. This sounds a bit weird, but making or getting your favorite beverage can easily boost your productivity and creativity. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the drink is important, even though it can be. But what I'm trying to focus on here is the process of making or getting your drink or beverage. The action of going to the kitchen, grab a tea bag, and make yourself a cup of tea can feel rewarding somehow. You feel like you've achieved something even though you haven't really finished your work yet. Not only that, the action of making your beverage can easily distract you from the feeling of stress or tiresome, which can deeply affect your creativity. Also, if you're a coffee lover, this can give you a lot of energy for the studying or working session, which is a great bonus. Tip number 4, keep your space well lit. Alright, I know what you're thinking. This is totally irrelevant. And yes, at first I thought so too. What does lighting of your room or workspace have anything to do with your creativity or productivity? Well, after finding out the hard way, I know for a fact that the lighting changes everything. When I was still in elementary, I knew nothing about the mental state of a human being or the importance of lighting or even anything about filmmaking. My room was poorly lit and there was a couple of light bulbs on the ceiling and that's it. There's not even one desk lamp. Not to mention the ceiling light bulbs are not that good of a light source. But at the time I was really young and I didn't really care at all. So every day whenever I had to do my homework, I took out my notebooks and placed them on the poorly lit desk and I did the homework. For many months I kept doing homework in the poorly lit environment. Not surprisingly, it somewhat contributed to my decrease in vision, making me nearsighted. But that's just talking about my physical health with my eyes, not my mental. When I was doing homework at that poorly lit desk, my brain felt really bad and I can't really focus for some reason. Especially whenever I had an art homework when I had to draw. My creativity was so down that I couldn't even draw properly and I was already and still am horrifying at art. So remember, not just in filmmaking but also in real life, lighting is everything when it comes to productivity and creativity. Tip number 5, take casual showers. Some of us know this already. Taking showers can truly amp up everything when it comes to working or studying. In the shower, you can truly relax and somewhat fall into a state of flow, creativity flow. For example, you're trying to create or trying to make your idea of a world come to life somehow. You go into the shower and truly fall into a state of deep relaxation. Partnering with that relaxation is a flow of creativity and focus. In that flow, you can clearly imagine your world. Every single detail is placed with intention, and you know exactly what you have to do to make that world come into life. That's an example to show you the effectiveness of showers when it comes to creativity and productivity. So taking a shower once every, let's say, 7 hours is not a bad idea. And a bonus, you get to keep your body clean, really clean. Alright, that was my personal 5 tips for you guys on how to boost your creativity when studying or working. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember to hit that like button below and the subscribe button because I need it, truly. And I'll see you guys in the next video.